I'm Anna Wallner.
And I'm Christina Matisik. This week on the Shopping Bags,
We're diving into dive watches.
it's definitely time.
We go deep to explore which watch looks great and keeps on ticking.
Thinking out of the box, we crack the code on crackers.
We don't hide any facts about leather furniture, and neither do our testers.
And finally, do hand sanitizing products liquidate those lurking germs, or should you just stick to old soap and water?
Some people need to be at the center of the action.
Wearing a dive watch can make you feel like Jacques Cousteau without actually taking the plunge.
The good dive watches come with features like water resistance that you can actually use when you're diving.
We are diving in to find out which watch is a real treasure. Enough already!
My shoes are wrecked.
To help us test the timepieces, we've enlisted the help of 3 workers at an aquarium. Justin's training the dolphins. Charla is pointing out some prickly details to our young audience. And it's time for Diving Officer Donnie to clean up. Anna and I will start testing for comfort and style by wearing them during our daily lives.
Together, we'll see which of these 4 dive watches at a variety of price points can best resist getting waterlogged while still looking good.
Our least expensive watch is from Timex. The watch claims to have a water-resistant rating of 200 meters. The St. Moritz watch boasts more than double the water resistance of Timex, up to 500 meters.
Our only digital dive watch from Casio claims to only be water resistant to 200 meters, but it sports more features like a depth gauge and diving log.
And for those planning on taking it to the next level, Doxa's watch claims to be water resistant up to 750 meters. It's also self-winding, so it doesn't require a battery.
Watchmaker Michael Bruner says that while a self-winding watch is more expensive than a battery-powered watch, there are some advantages.
A mechanical watch won't run out of battery, so as long as you wear them, as long as you wind them, if it's a hand wind, they will always show you the time.
Though the name implies you'll be doing some serious diving, this type of watch basically works as a timer. You set the bezel for how many minutes you want to be underwater, so you don't run out of oxygen.
So we decided to put these watches' diving claims to the test by wearing them ourselves underwater.
I'm not a water person.
Dive watches that work as bottom timers, like this one, are good if you're snorkeling or just learning how to dive.
But if you're going to be doing a lot of diving, you'll need to invest in a dive computer. And some are small enough that you can wear on your wrist.
They tell you how deep you are and how long you've been down, constantly recalculating your decompression status, making for a safer dive.
After some instruction from our fellow tester Donnie, we're going to set each of the watches for 15 minutes to see how easy it is to use the timer and if they can resist leaks by hanging around the bottom of the pool.
Dive watches are tested under controlled and static conditions, but with the diver's movement, the water pressure can increase significantly.
So a watch that's tested to 30 meters may really only be good for some light splashing around.
For scuba diving, water resistance of 200 meters is standard.
Don't worry about the watches that are rated to much bigger numbers because the limit for recreational diving is 40 meters.
But some divers do go deeper, and Michael says a watch with a higher meter rating will also be more heavy-duty to help it take a licking.
A 750-meter water-resistant watch has a thicker crystal, has a thicker case back. Yes, better shock-resistant altogether.
And it turns out the watches are keeping the water at bay better than Anna.
I have a problem. My ear is killing me.
So Christina will have to while away the minutes herself. After a quick change, she's back to the bottom of the pool to test the other 2 watches.
Since you can get distracted while diving, you need an accurate reading from the watch for exactly how long you've been down so you don't run out of air.
Goes both ways.
The bezel should only turn in one direction, so if the Timex gets bumped or touched, it could accidentally extend the dive time. It turns out that's not its only drawback.
We're checking in with our aquarium testers to discover why the Timex couldn't give us the time of day.
It was the hardest one to read, especially in the water. That and the leather strap.
I was going to say, the
Not so
strap is
fun.
not good for underwater.
The digital Casio has a more durable rubber strap, but it was also hard to read and gave us information overload. And although some of us were impressed by Doxa,
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Doxa having the metal strap. A little bit more weight was definitely helpful.
for me it was a bit too much watch.
It's a beautiful looking watch, but just too much. Too much money.
In the end, it was the St. Moritz that won us all over.
Yeah, it was the easiest one to read. It had the nicest face on it.
This is a great starter dive watch, plus it's good for in and out of the water.
Underwater we'll have gloves, big gloves on it. It's easy to move the bezel and stuff around.
But the guys didn't like having to fumble with the rubber strap.
I would have preferred maybe a metal band instead, just for getting it on and off.
For its easy to read face and date, the St. Moritz dive watch made the biggest splash for us.
I think my eyes maybe aren't as good as they used to be.
So when you're choosing a dive watch, make sure the bezel only turns in one direction, look for a sturdy metal band, and make sure it's quick and easy to take on and off your wrist. And you'll be styling in the deep seas.
So are you going to be a serious diver?
Did you see me down there? I'm on the way, clearly.
You're closer than I am, that's for sure.
Next, cracking down on some crackers.